All right, so you want to get better at your game, right?
Mm.
Well, it's not just about practicing harder, but like
Hmm.
understanding how your brain processes everything,
Oh, yeah.
like a total pro athlete.
It's all mental.
Yeah, so today we're doing a deep dive into information processing in sports.
That's right.
It's not just textbook stuff.
Yeah.
It's understanding how the best of the best get to that next level.
Absolutely.
What makes them so good?
We're going to break down this whole process
Fun.
into 4 stages. Input,
Okay.
decision-making,
Got it.
output,
All right.
and feedback.
So essentially like a loop.
Yeah. And don't worry, we'll make it relatable even for those of you just starting out with exercise and sports science.
Okay, cool.
Think of it this way.
Yeah.
Every time you step onto the court or field, your brain is running a super complex playbook.
So it's like its own game.
It's got its own thing going on.
Up there.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with input.
Okay.
It's more than just like what you see, right?
Right.
Like you hear the crowd, you feel the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like what about that?
Absolutely. Think of your senses like your brain's scouts,
Okay, yeah.
gathering intel from everywhere,
Yeah.
every direction. And it's not just the obvious ones.
Yeah.
Sight, sound.
Right.
Take proprioception, for example.
Proprioception.
Ever wonder how a gymnast just like nails a blind landing?
Oh, that's a good point.
That's proprioception.
Yeah.
Knowing where your body is in space without even looking.
Wow.
It's pretty wild.
That's so cool.
It's like a superpower.
Yeah, so it's like their body is talking to their brain even when they can't see what's happening.
That's exactly it.
That's great,
And
right?
then there's the vestibular system.
Okay.
Your body's balance system.
Right.
Without it, you couldn't even stand up straight,
Yeah, true.
let alone do anything athletic.
So important.
Quick cut on the field, triple axle.
Forget about it.
You need your vestibulus.
Okay, so athletes are just getting bombarded with all this information.
Yeah, there.
But you can't focus on all of it at once.
There's too much.
So how do they decide what's important? Like how do they...
Well, that's where decision-making comes in.
Okay,
Stage 2 of our information processing model.
got it.
The brain's like a supercomputer,
Okay,
sorting through all that input,
right.
prioritizing the important cues.
So it's like ranking them.
Yeah. It's got to figure out what matters.
Okay,
Imagine a basketball player driving to the hoop.
okay,
They have to see where the defenders are,
right.
where their teammates are,
Yeah,
what the goalie's going to do,
and all...
all while controlling the ball.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot to think about.
So much.
Yeah.
So their brain isn't just like reacting, it's like predicting
Predicting, yeah.
based on...
On everything it's taking in.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And that's where experience really makes a difference
Oh, interesting. Okay.
between expert athletes
Hmm.
and novices.
So like a beginner
Yeah.
versus someone. Think of it like this.
Yeah.
A novice is like a computer with limited RAM,
Okay.
trying to process everything at once.
It's just overloaded.
Yeah, it's just overwhelmed.
Okay.
So slow and inefficient.
So experts have like more processing power.
Not more power, just
Right.
they've optimized the system.
Ah, okay.
They've played the game so many times, their brains have built this huge library of
Yeah.
patterns.
So they can recognize things faster.
Instantly.
Wow.
They'll make decisions faster.
Okay, so that's where that
Gives them the edge.
split-second advantage comes from.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. Like they've downloaded a cheat code or something.
Yeah. They've got the secrets.
Okay, so how does all this thinking turn into like action?
Ah, that's output.
Right, outpulling.
Output's all about movement.
Okay.
Your brain sends super fast signals to your muscles,
Wow.
telling them exactly how to move.
Okay.
So swinging a bat,
Yeah.
spiking a volleyball, taking a shot on goal,
Right.
whatever it is.
And I bet that's where muscle memory comes in.
You bet it is.
Right. The more you practice a movement,
Yeah.
the more ingrained it becomes in your brain.
Think of it this way.
Okay.
A novice is still writing the code for each movement.
Okay.
An expert's already programmed it in.
Gotcha.
It's smooth,
Yeah.
effortless,
Like automatics.
almost.
Okay. So we've got input,
Right.
decision making,
Hmm.
output, the brain's gathering info, making choices, telling the body what to do.
Right.
But even the best athletes mess up sometimes.
It happens.
Right.
So nobody's perfect.
That's where feedback comes in.
You got it.
Okay.
Feedback is the last piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
It's all about learning
Okay.
and refining those actions.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 2 main types of feedback,
Okay.
intrinsic
Okay.
and extrinsic.
Right.
Intrinsic feedback is what your body tells you,
Okay.
how the movement felt,
Yeah.
whether it worked or not.
So if like a tennis player hits a forehand and their wrist hurts, that's intrinsic feedback.
That's it.
Okay.
Telling them something's off
Gotcha.
with their technique.
Okay, cool.
Now, extrinsic feedback
Okay.
comes from outside sources.
Right.
A coach's instructions,
Yeah.
the scoreboard,
Mhm.
even like watching a replay
Oh, interesting. Okay.
of your performance.
So are both those types of feedback like equally important for all athletes?
That's a great question, actually. It depends
Okay.
on their experience level.
Okay.
Novices rely a lot on extrinsic feedback
Mm.
because they're still building those mental models and movement patterns.
So they need that guidance
Yeah.
from like the outside.
Stay on track.
Okay. But what about like the pros?
Well, because they've internalized those skills,
Mhm.
they can actually use intrinsic feedback
Okay.
to fine-tune their performance
Okay.
at a much deeper level.
So they're like their own coaches almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They can feel those tiny details
Yeah.
a coach might not even see.
Wow.
It's like they have a sixth sense for their sport.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Oh, so they become their own coaches
Precisely.
in a way.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. And that's where things get
That's when it gets good.
really interesting.
Yeah. Welcome back. We just talked about how athletes process all that info, taking in all those cues and making decisions and turning it into action.
Right. And how they make it look so easy.
Right. But the big question is,
Yeah.
can we train our brains
Ooh.
to get better at this whole information processing thing?
Right. Because not all of us are going to be pro athletes.
Right.
But can we use this stuff
Well,
to get better at our own thing?
the good news is information processing
Yeah.
isn't something you're born with. It's a skill.
Oh.
And like any skill, you can train it.
Okay, cool. So where do we start?
All right.
Like brain teasers all day long.
Not quite. One of the best things you can do is something called selective attention.
Selective attention.
Yeah, it's all about learning to focus on the right cues
Okay.
and blocking out everything else.
So like laser focus?
Laser focus.
Like a sniper.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So let's say you're practicing free throws.
Okay.
Instead of thinking about everything else going on,
Yeah.
you just focus on the rim,
Okay.
the feel of the ball,
Mm-hmm.
and the rhythm of your shot.
So you're telling your brain.
This is all that matters right now.
That makes sense. You get rid of distractions and you can focus better.
Yeah, exactly. You free up more brain power.
Okay. Are there other mental techniques athletes use?
Another good one is visualization.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
You've probably heard of it.
Yeah.
But it's more than just daydreaming.
Okay.
It's about really mentally rehearsing a skill,
Mm-hmm.
engaging all your senses
Wow.
as if you were actually doing it.
So it's like creating a movie in your head
Yeah,
of yourself doing the thing.
exactly. So like you can see the court or the feel,
Yeah.
feel the ball, hear the crowd.
Yeah.
And here's the cool part.
Yeah.
When you visualize yourself doing something perfectly,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's making that free throw or hitting that tennis serve,
Right.
you're actually strengthening the neural pathways
Wow.
in your brain
Really?
that are associated with that movement.
So you're like, it's almost like pre-programming your body.
Yeah, like a sneak peek.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, what else?
Another one that might surprise you is anticipation.
Anticipation.
Yeah, it's all about using your knowledge of the game
Okay.
and your past experiences
Mm-hmm.
to kind of predict what's going to happen next.
So instead of just reacting, you're already thinking ahead.
Exactly like a chess player.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
Yeah, think about a quarterback.
Oh,
They can often anticipate where their receiver is going to be open
right.
based on how the defense is lined up. The play that's called even the defender's body language,
So they're reading all those little cues.
all those little things.
Wow.
This lets them make faster decisions and throw the ball more accurately.
That's amazing. So it's like they're seeing the field in slow motion
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
while everyone else is at normal speed.
And this is where the difference between a novice and an expert is really clear.
Oh, okay.
Novices are still trying to catch up,
Right.
reacting to what's right in front of them.
Yeah.
Experts have developed this intuition.
So it's not just about physical skills. It's like training your brain for the game.
Exactly.
Okay, this mental training sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But how do we actually make it work?
Well, that's the key, right?
Yeah.
It's not enough to just know about these techniques. You have to practice them.
Okay.
And that's where feedback comes in.
Right.
Not just from coaches, but from yourself.
So like, how do we coach ourselves? Do we just like sit there and think really hard about what we did wrong?
It's a little more active than that.
Okay.
One of the best ways is to use video. Record your practices or games and then watch them back.
Mm-hmm.
But watch with a critical eye.
Okay.
Focus on your decisions, your anticipation, your focus.
So it's like watching game film,
Yeah,
but for your mind.
exactly.
Okay.
Ask yourself questions.
Like what?
Like, was I focused on the right things?
Okay.
Did I see that move coming? Could I have made a decision faster?
Wow, that's such a good idea.
It really helps.
Yeah, especially for people who really want to improve.
Absolutely.
Cool.
And remember, this isn't just about sports.
Oh, right.
These skills are useful anywhere
Yeah.
where you need to think quickly, adapt, and make decisions under pressure.
Feel like a surgeon?
Surgeons, a CEO,
Or just like driving in traffic.
even just everyday life.
That's so true.
These mental tools can help you stay ahead of the game.
I love it. All right, so we've covered the theory.
Yeah.
We've covered the techniques.
We've got the tools.
Now let's see how it actually plays out.
Let's see it in action.
Give us some real-world examples.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we've got the theory, we've got the techniques, but now let's see it in action.
Okay, let's do it.
Like, give us those game-changing examples.
Okay, so let's start with like a classic high-pressure moment.
Okay.
A penalty kick in soccer.
Ooh, yeah, that's intense.
The kicker's standing there,
Yeah,
weight of the whole game on their shoulders,
so much pressure.
and their brain is like going into overdrive.
Right. What are they even thinking about in those few seconds?
Well, they're checking out the goalkeeper,
Okay,
looking for any little clues.
like what?
Like, are they leaning one way? Are their shoulders tense?
Oh, so they're trying to predict which way they're going to dive?
Exactly. And they're also taking in like the angle of the goal,
Right.
the distance, even how the grass feels under their feet.
So it's all those senses again?
All those senses working together,
Sight, feel, even balance?
all of it feeding into their decision.
Wow.
Do they go for power? Aim for the top corner?
Yeah.
Or try to fake out the goalkeeper with a shot to the side?
It's like a whole mental chess match happening in like seconds.
It's crazy, right?
So then what?
So once they've made the decision,
Hmm.
it's all about execution,
Okay.
turning that plan into action. Their
Right.
brain's sending all these signals,
To the muscles.
telling them exactly how to hit the ball
Wow.
with the right force and accuracy.
And then comes the feedback, right?
Right. The feeling of the ball.
Yeah.
The sight of it going towards the goal.
Yeah.
The sound of the crowd if they score.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
And even if they miss, that feedback is still super important
Absolutely.
for getting better next time.
But I can look back and see what went wrong.
Adjust their strategy.
Exactly.
This penalty kick example is so good.
It shows how all those stages work
This
together.
is a chain reaction.
It all connects.
Okay, what about something even faster like table tennis?
Ah, table tennis, the speed demons. They have like fractions of a second to react.
Oh.
They're not just seeing the ball. They're reading the spin,
Yeah.
the speed, the trajectory.
Their focus must be insane.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And their decisions are just as impressive.
What kind of decisions?
They have to instantly decide how to hit it back.
Okay.
Do they attack?
Yeah.
Or play it safe?
Wow.
It's a constant back and forth.
Like a super fast dance.
Yeah. And of course, their movements have to be lightning fast, too.
Right.
Perfect hand-eye coordination.
So they can pull off those crazy shots.
It's amazing to watch.
Table tennis really shows how important those mental skills are,
For sure.
especially when everything's happening so fast.
Absolutely.
And remember,
Yeah.
all these concepts,
Yeah.
they're not just for athletes.
Right.
Anyone can use them
It's
to get better at anything.
If you want to improve, you can use these techniques.
So musicians,
Musicians,
surgeons,
yeah.
anyone learning something new.
It's all about training your brain.
I love it.
Uh-huh.
So by understanding how our brains work,
Mm-hmm.
we can react faster, make better choices, and reach our goals.
That's the big takeaway here.
That's awesome. So there you have it,
Yeah.
a deep dive into information processing.
We did it.
Hopefully this gave you some ideas
Yeah.
to improve your own game.
Whatever that may be.
It's not just about physical skill.
Nope.
It's about training your brain
Your brain is your biggest asset.
to be the ultimate game changer.
That's right.